Have you ever felt a quiet tug? A subtle whisper that tells you there's more to life, more joy, more peace, especially now that you've reached this beautiful stage of life. Many of us, as we move into our 60s and beyond, carry burdens we don't even realize are weighing us down. It's like carrying a heavy backpack on a long journey, full of things we picked up along the way, things we thought we needed. But now, they just make every step harder. And the surprising truth is, often, these burdens aren't physical at all. They're emotional, mental, and sometimes even spiritual. They steal our energy, cloud our minds, and keep us from truly savoring the precious moments that life offers us now. This isn't about grand gestures or radical changes. It's about gently releasing what no longer serves us. It's about creating space for more happiness, more vitality, and yes, even more years of joyful living. In this video, we're going to explore 4 powerful things that, once you let them go, can dramatically transform your daily experience, making your journey lighter and infinitely more fulfilling. These aren't just ideas, they are pathways to a brighter, more vibrant you. And believe me, what we discuss at the end might just be the most surprising and freeing realization of all. So, make sure you watch all the way through to discover that powerful insight. Let's dive right into the first thing many of us cling to, often without even realizing it. And that's the burden of perfection and unrealistic expectations. For so many years, whether in our careers, raising families, or managing our homes, we were conditioned to strive for excellence, to achieve, to be the best, to get things just right. And while ambition has its place, after 65, carrying that relentless need for perfection becomes less about growth and more about stress. Think about it. How many times have you put off starting a new hobby because you worried you wouldn't be good enough, or felt a knot in your stomach because your grandchild's visit wasn't picture perfect? Or maybe you've looked around your home and felt a pang of guilt because it wasn't as tidy as you thought it should be. Even though it's perfectly comfortable and lived in, this continuous internal pressure to be perfect, or to have everything around us be perfect, is incredibly draining. It steals joy from the small moments and keeps us from appreciating the beauty in imperfection. When we hold on to unrealistic expectations, we set ourselves up for constant disappointment. Not just in ourselves, but in others too. We might subtly criticize a loved one for a small oversight, or beat ourselves up over a forgotten appointment. It's like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole, constantly pushing, always feeling like we're falling short, when, in reality, the hole was never meant to be perfectly square in the first place. This burden doesn't just affect our mental state, it manifests physically. Chronic stress, a direct result of this relentless pursuit, can elevate blood pressure, disrupt sleep, and even weaken our immune system. It's a silent thief of our precious health and happiness. So, how do we begin to let go of this deeply ingrained habit? It starts with a conscious shift in perspective. Instead of aiming for flawless, aim for good enough, or even beautifully messy. Embrace the idea that life, in all its wonderful complexity, is inherently imperfect. And that's precisely where its charm lies. For example, if you're planning a family dinner, instead of meticulously planning every dish and agonizing over table settings, focus on the warmth of the gathering itself. If a dish burns slightly or a fork is missing, laugh about it. Those small imperfections often become the cherished family stories later. Another practical step is to practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a dear friend. When you catch yourself thinking, "I should have done that better," pause and reframe the thought to, "I did my best in that moment, and that's enough." Recognize that you've lived a full life. You've learned, you've grown, and you've done an incredible amount. It's time to be proud of your journey, not constantly critique it. This also extends to how we view others. Are you holding your children or grandchildren to standards that are simply too high? leading to quiet frustrations. Letting go of the need for them to be perfect or to behave exactly as you expect allows for more genuine connection and less friction. It frees them to be themselves, and it frees you from the emotional labor of constantly trying to manage or influence their outcomes. Imagine the relief of letting go of the need for your garden to be weed-free all the time, or for every sweater in your drawer to be perfectly folded. It's about prioritizing what truly matters: the joy of digging in the soil, the comfort of a warm sweater, the presence in the moment, rather than the relentless pursuit of an unattainable ideal. When you genuinely release the grip of perfection, you open yourself up to a world of ease, laughter, and acceptance, creating a much more peaceful inner landscape, which directly contributes to a longer, healthier, and certainly happier life. You'll find yourself breathing more deeply, sleeping more soundly, and simply enjoying the journey without the constant self-judgment. Now, with that newfound freedom from perfection's demands, let's turn our attention to another major energy drain that many of us carry. Especially as we get older, the constant need to be busy and always doing. For decades, our lives were likely dictated by schedules, responsibilities, and the belief that our worth was tied to our productivity. We worked, we raised families, we volunteered, we managed households, always on the go, always with a to-do list. The idea of sitting still, of simply being, often felt indulgent, or even lazy. But after 65, clinging to that relentless pace can be detrimental. Many people feel a subtle guilt if they're not constantly engaged in an activity. If they're not filling every hour of every day, they might feel the need to always have a plan, to always be on their way to somewhere, or to be working on something. This is often fueled by a fear of missing out, or FOMO, even on mundane activities, and a deeply ingrained societal message that idleness is a negative trait. But what happens when we refuse to slow down? We miss out on the quiet moments of reflection, the spontaneous joys, and the deep restoration our bodies and minds truly need. Always rushing, always doing, leaves little room for introspection, for listening to our own bodies, or for simply appreciating the present moment. It can lead to burnout, chronic fatigue, and a feeling of being perpetually overwhelmed, even when our actual responsibilities might have lessened. Consider this: when was the last time you sat quietly, without a screen, without a book, without a project, just watching the clouds, listening to the birds, or simply enjoying a cup of tea? Many of us find this surprisingly difficult, almost uncomfortable. That discomfort often stems from the internal belief that we should be doing something more productive. But the truth is, allowing ourselves periods of rest, reflection, and even what some might call doing nothing is incredibly productive for our well-being. It's when our minds can truly wander, ideas can coalesce, and our bodies can recover. It reduces stress hormones, improves cognitive function, and can even enhance creativity. To let go of this constant need for busyness, start by consciously scheduling nothing time. It might sound counterintuitive, but just as you'd schedule an appointment, schedule 15 to 30 minutes each day to simply be. This could be gazing out the window, listening to music without distraction, or just sitting on a park bench. Don't fill it with tasks. Just allow yourself to exist in that space. Another powerful step is to challenge the internalized belief that your worth is tied to your output. Your value as a person isn't measured by how much you accomplish in a day. It's measured by your kindness, your wisdom, your experiences, and your very presence. You've earned the right to slow down, to savor, and to simply be. Say no to commitments that don't genuinely light you up, even if they seem like something you should do. Protect your energy fiercely, recognizing that your well-being is paramount. For example, if a friend invites you to an event that sounds exhausting, it's perfectly okay to decline with kindness, saying something like, "That sounds lovely, but I need to prioritize some quiet time for myself these days. Or if you find yourself automatically reaching for a chore when you have a spare moment, pause and ask yourself, what would genuinely nourish me right now? Perhaps it's a short walk, a few moments of stretching, or simply closing your eyes and breathing deeply. Embracing this concept means cultivating a gentler pace, one that honors your energy levels and allows you to enjoy life rather than constantly chase it. It's about intentionally choosing presence over perpetual motion, and in doing so, opening the door to deeper contentment and a richer experience of your golden years. This shift isn't about being lazy, it's about being wise, about understanding that true vitality comes from balance, not endless activity. And when you let go of that frantic energy, you'll find you have more energy for the things that truly matter. Building on that idea of a gentler pace, we now come to a deeply emotional burden that many of us carry, sometimes for decades. And that's the weight of past regrets and what-ifs. How many times have you found your mind drifting back to a moment, a decision, or a missed opportunity from years ago, only to feel a familiar pang of sorrow, shame, or frustration? What if I had taken that job? If only I had said something different to my loved one before they passed. I should have invested more wisely. Why did I let that friendship fade? These thoughts, these echoes of the past, can haunt us, casting a long shadow over our present happiness. They are like anchors, holding us firmly in a place we can no longer change, preventing us from sailing freely into the waters of today. It's an incredibly common human experience to dwell on the past, especially as we gain more perspective and wisdom with age. We look back and see things with clearer eyes, understanding choices we made or choices we didn't make through a different lens. And sometimes, that hindsight can feel like a heavy judgment. But here's the crucial truth: while we can learn from the past, we cannot change it. Clinging to regrets or endlessly replaying what-ifs doesn't alter history. It only sours our present and steals our future joy. It consumes precious mental and emotional energy that could be used to appreciate the beauty around us, to connect with loved ones, or to pursue new passions. This emotional burden can manifest in physical ways too, contributing to anxiety, sleeplessness, and a general feeling of unease. It's a constant friction in our minds, preventing true peace. So, how do we begin the process of letting go of these stubborn regrets? The first step is acknowledging them without judgment. It's okay to feel sorrow or regret. These are natural human emotions. But then, consciously decide to release their grip. One powerful technique is to reframe the past. Instead of seeing a past event as a mistake, view it as a lesson. Every decision, every path taken or not taken, has shaped who you are today, bringing you to this very moment. Perhaps that mistake taught you resilience, or empathy, or a deeper understanding of yourself. For example, if you regret a career path you took, consider the skills you gained, the people you met, or the stability it provided, which led to other opportunities or blessings in your life. Another helpful practice is to cultivate forgiveness. Forgiveness for yourself and, if necessary, for others involved in those past events. We all do the best we can with the knowledge and resources we have at the time. You are not the same person you were then, and it's unfair to judge your past self by your present wisdom. Write a letter to your past self, offering understanding and compassion, and then symbolically tear it up or burn it as an act of release. Or, if there's someone you need to forgive, write them a letter, but don't send it. The act of writing is for your healing, not theirs. Practice mindfulness. When a regretful thought surfaces, gently acknowledge it. Then consciously bring your attention back to the present moment. Notice the warmth of your coffee, the sound of birds outside, the feel of the chair beneath you. Ground yourself in the now, reminding yourself that this moment is all you truly have, and it's too precious to be clouded by unchangeable history. Sometimes, it can be helpful to talk about these regrets with a trusted friend, family member, or even a therapist. Voicing them can often diminish their power, and hearing another perspective can help you see them differently. The goal isn't to erase the memory, but to neutralize its emotional charge, so it no longer dictates your mood or limits your happiness. When you truly let go of past regrets, it's like releasing a heavy weight from your shoulders. You'll feel lighter, more free, and more open to the joy and peace that are available to you right now. It allows you to embrace the present fully and to look forward to the future with optimism, knowing that every day is a fresh start, unburdened by yesterday's shadows. This leads us to the fourth and perhaps most liberating thing we can let go of after 65, the need for external validation and approval. Throughout much of our lives, from childhood through careers and social circles, we are subtly, or sometimes not so subtly, conditioned to seek approval from others. We want our parents to be proud, our bosses to be impressed, our friends to like us, our children to respect us. We shape our behaviors, our opinions, even our appearances, based on what we think others expect or desire. And while a certain level of social connection and positive feedback is natural and healthy, when the need for external validation becomes a driving force, it drains our authenticity and our inner peace. It means our sense of self-worth is constantly fluctuating, dependent on the shifting opinions and moods of those around us. Have you ever found yourself biting your tongue to avoid disagreement, even when you strongly felt otherwise? Or maybe you've worried endlessly about what neighbors might think of your garden, or what friends might say about a new outfit, instead of simply enjoying them for yourself. Perhaps you've gone along with plans that didn't truly appeal to you, just to avoid disappointing someone, leaving you feeling depleted and resentful. This constant internal negotiation, this perpetual weighing of what others might think, is incredibly exhausting. It prevents us from truly living in alignment with our own values, our own desires, and our own wisdom. It means we're constantly looking outside ourselves for affirmation, rather than drawing from the deep well of our own inner knowing. This can lead to anxiety, a feeling of being unmoored, and a pervasive sense of not being enough unless someone else confirms it. It's a subtle form of self-abandonment, where we prioritize others' perceptions over our own genuine feelings and needs. And this, more than almost anything else, can prevent us from truly embracing the freedom and joy that come with our golden years. The beauty of reaching this age is that you've accumulated a lifetime of experience, wisdom, and resilience. You have navigated countless challenges, celebrated innumerable triumphs, and learned so much about yourself and the world. Now, more than ever, you are uniquely positioned to trust your own inner compass. Letting go of the need for external approval means cultivating an unshakable sense of self-worth that comes from within. It means recognizing that your value is inherent, not something to be earned or granted by others. How do you begin this profound shift? Start by practicing self-awareness. When you're about to make a decision or express an opinion, pause and ask yourself, am I doing this because it genuinely feels right to me, or because I'm worried about what someone else will think? This simple question can be incredibly illuminating. Next, begin to gently assert your preferences and boundaries. This doesn't mean being confrontational or unkind. It means expressing your truth with confidence and grace. For example, if someone offers unsolicited advice, you can politely say, "Thank you for that thought. I'll consider it," without feeling obligated to follow it. Or if you're invited to an event you don't wish to attend, a simple, "I appreciate the invitation, but I won't be able to make it," is perfectly sufficient, without needing to invent elaborate excuses. This is about honoring your own energy and desires. Spend more time with people who truly see and appreciate you for who you are, without judgment or expectation. These are the relationships that nourish your soul. Limit your exposure to those who make you feel like you constantly need to perform or seek their approval. Cultivate a practice of self-affirmation. Remind yourself daily of your strengths, your wisdom, and your inherent worth. Look in the mirror and tell yourself something kind and true, something you'd tell a dear friend. This might feel uncomfortable at first, but with practice, it builds an inner fortress of confidence. Remember, you have lived through so much. You have learned so much. The opinions of others, while sometimes interesting, do not define your reality or your worth. You have earned the right to live authentically, to follow your own inner wisdom, and to find your happiness from within. When you truly let go of the need for external validation, you unlock a profound sense of freedom. You'll find yourself making choices that are genuinely aligned with your heart, experiencing a deeper sense of peace, and radiating an authenticity that is truly magnetic. This is where true happiness and longevity reside, in living a life that is truly, unapologetically yours. So, we've explored 4 powerful things that, once released, can truly transform your life after 65. We talked about letting go of the burden of perfection and those unrealistic expectations that weigh us down. Instead, embracing the beauty in good enough and practicing self-compassion. Then, we delved into the importance of letting go of the constant need to be busy and always doing, allowing ourselves the invaluable gift of rest, reflection, and simply being present. We also discussed releasing the heavy weight of past regrets and what-ifs, reframing them as lessons learned and choosing forgiveness for ourselves and others to free our minds from history's grip. And finally, we just talked about the profound liberation that comes from letting go of the need for external validation and approval, cultivating an unshakable sense of self-worth from within. Each of these steps, though simple in concept, can unlock incredible peace and joy. Remember, small changes can make a big difference to your health and happiness. You don't have to tackle everything at once. Pick one area that resonates most with you right now, and gently begin the process of releasing. Maybe it's about accepting that your home doesn't need to be showroom perfect. Or perhaps it's dedicating just 15 minutes each day to quiet contemplation. These aren't grand transformations, but quiet acts of self-care and self-love that compound over time. Think about how much lighter you'll feel, how much more energy you'll have, when you aren't constantly striving for an impossible ideal, or feeling guilty for resting, or replaying old tapes, or seeking approval from everyone around you. This is your time to live authentically, with purpose and joy, unburdened by the expectations of the past or the world outside. This journey of letting go isn't about becoming less. It's about becoming more of who you truly are, more vibrant, more at peace, and more genuinely happy. You've earned this freedom, this lightness of being. You have so much wisdom to share, so much life to live, and so much beauty to experience. The greatest gift you can give yourself at this stage is the permission to simply be, to thrive, and to live in a way that feels utterly true to you. I would love to hear from you. Which of these 4 resonated most deeply with you? What's one thing you're ready to let go of to live a happier, longer life? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your insights might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. If you found this video helpful and inspiring, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. We're building a community here dedicated to living our best lives at every age, with practical tips and uplifting messages to help you on your journey. Together, we can continue to discover ways to make these golden years truly shine. Live your best life at every age,